Does the mayor ever answer a question? From the comments, I know a lot of you think he doesn't, but watch what happens when he gets a straight yes-no question from Labour.
What Londoners want to know is, are you going to stick to your guns and make sure that you freeze fares?
I can answer that in one word, yes.
See, that wasn't so hard, was it? But look, watch what happens now when I ask him a yes-no question. I'm going to ask him 3 times, and the answer, by the way, to my question is yes, but you'll work that out anyway from his answer. So even when he doesn't answer the question, he kind of does.
So on the rest of the TfL network, the Labour government has compelled you to increase them by 4.6%, which I believe is a solid percentage point above inflation. Is that correct?
I hope you give me a chance to answer the question. So the TfL business plan said that we would increase fares by 3.6% across the piece on TfL published months ago. What's happened is I've chosen to raise tube and train fares by the same as National Rail, 4.6%, but freeze them for buses and trams at 0%. That comes to an average of, guess what? 3.6%. So the business plan and what we're putting forward now is exactly the same. At the same time, we've managed to almost double the amount of capital funds TfL receives for 25-26. I call that a win-win.
Yes, I call that definitely not answering my question. The Labour government compelled you to increase rail fares by 4.6%, didn't they, on pain of less funding in future years? You've previously made that statement yourself publicly.
I think the chair's mistaken the current government for Grant Shapps, and we've published that from Grant Shapps and also published a letter from Louise Hay.
Can I just be clear then? So the government did not require you to increase TfL rail fares by 4.6%. Is that correct?
They did not.
Sorry, I was asking the question to the mayor. I mean, presumably he knows what the government did or did not compel him to do. Did they require you to increase TfL rail fares this year by 4.6%?
I'm quite clear that what I'm doing is what I said in my business plan, which is across the piece 3.6% increase. And one of the reasons why I'm raising...
Okay, I did ask you a yes-no question. So yes-no, did the government require you to increase rail fares by 4.6%?
Well, I'm afraid you can't subscribe how I answer a question I'm asked by even the chair, the impartial chair. Let me address the question asked by the impartial chair.
Londoners can listen to your answer and they can think that if I ask you a straight... So you've tried to imply that they didn't require you, so I've asked you a straight question, did they yes or no require you? And if you then choose not to answer that question, Londoners might draw their own conclusion, might they? So for the third time, did the Labour government require you to increase TfL rail fares by 4.6% this year?
Look, just like you can't dictate how I answer the question, you can't answer the question for me. So let me be quite clear. In the past, Trump's secretaries have tried to dictate to me what I do with fares, and I've said no, because it's I have the power to decide what happens with fares. And in the past, what I've done is said no to the previous government. This year, what the government said in the letter, which we've published for full transparency, I'm really surprised the chair's not read the letter. I'll publish it again today, so you can read the letter. Can we actually send a letter to the...
I can read it out.
Please, yeah, can you do it? Yeah, thank you.
To be fair, so I haven't asked you to read out the letter. I've asked you 3 times, yes or no, whether the government compelled you to increase fares, and you have declined. You have declined. Excuse me, if you forgive me, Mr. Bellamy. The mayor has declined 3 times to answer my question, and since he has only deigned to give us 1 hour of his time, I think we do need to move on. Just in case you weren't sure, here's a BBC News article from December when the fare increase was announced. Khan said, quote, "Following the government budget, ministers made clear that to secure national funding for key transport projects in the future, TfL tube and rail fares would need to increase in line with national rail fares." So there you go, exactly as I said.